Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jill, otherwise known as the Enlightened Target, and this channel is devoted to narcissistic abuse awareness and recovery, parental alienation, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and anything and everything associated with those three main topics. In today's video, we're talking about one of the most difficult aspects to overcoming and healing from narcissistic abuse. Today we are talking about ways to overcome the injustice of what you have been through. I struggled with the injustice of what I lived through probably more than any other aspect of it, and so do my coaching clients. So I know this is a huge obstacle for most victims to overcome. And while there are no easy answers, there are some things that you can do that will help you heal from the injustice of it all. And today I'm going to give you the things that have helped me the most. If you're new to my channel, I would like to welcome you and invite you to please subscribe and be sure and hit that notification bell because I put out new videos every week. Also, if you are interested in private one-on-one narcissistic abuse recovery coaching with me or group coaching, please visit my website or send me an email. Both are linked in the description below. So today we are talking about ways that you can overcome and heal from the injustice of narcissistic abuse. And the first tip I have is to allow yourself a period of time to be angry and grieve the many losses you no doubt have suffered throughout this entire nightmare. Because there likely isn't going to be any justice for what the narcissist has put you through. And even if there is some form of justice, it likely won't hold a candle to what they put you through or did to you. So the first step to overcoming the injustice is to allow yourself to be mad, angry, pissed off, hurt, repulsed, all of those things. Give yourself the freedom to acknowledge and grieve the significance of what you have lived through. I am a firm believer that victims of narcissistic abuse cannot get out of victimhood until they really acknowledge and validate the fact that they are a victim. Many times a survivor will be struggling with shame, humiliation, embarrassment for what the narcissist has done to them and got away with. And that's not the survivor's burden to bear. There's one person and one person only who is responsible for what has happened, and that person is the narcissist. So number one, allow yourself time to be angry and grieve. Next, I believe that it is necessary to implement a strategy known as and called radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is based on the notion that suffering comes not directly from pain, but from one's attachment to the pain. Radical acceptance has its roots in Buddhism and is defined as the ability to accept situations that are outside of your control without judging them, which in turn reduces suffering. Basically, it suggests that non-attachment is the key to overcoming suffering. It doesn't mean approving of what happened. It simply means accepting reality for what it is and not getting caught up in the emotional reaction to the reality. What has happened, and no matter how badly we wish we could go back in time, no matter how wrong and horrible it is that the narcissist did this to us, no matter what should have happened, it didn't. And if we get caught up and stuck in what should have happened, we are going to suffer even more and longer than we already have. Radical acceptance is accepting the reality of what has happened so that we can move on. We cannot control what has happened. The best we can do is accept it, try and learn from it, and heal. Another tactic that I used to overcome the injustice of what happened is to understand that no matter how personal the abuse from the narcissist felt, the reality is that the narcissist would have and will treat anyone like they treated me given the opportunity. I wasn't deserving of what happened. I am not responsible for what happened. And the narcissist will do this to his or her next victim. I came to understand that I had been dealing with human beings who did not have a conscience, a human being who does not have the capacity to feel or experience shame, guilt, regret, remorse, or empathy. In many respects, the narcissists treated me the way they were made, with the emotions that they are capable of experiencing, which are contempt, hatred, envy, and jealousy. I was expecting to be treated like this person was a normal human being with normal amounts of humility and compassion. And narcissists are not made like that. They are not capable of that. So what happened really had nothing to do with me personally. Again, they would have and will treat and do to anyone what they did to me, given the opportunity. Another very helpful and healing realization that I came to is knowing that my abusers will never know true love. They will never know true happiness, nor will they ever feel genuine satisfaction. The closest thing the narcissist will ever experience to feeling those things is narcissistic supply, attention. They will never know what unconditional love feels like. They will only know how to interpret narcissistic supply. They will never feel the love and happiness that I will. They will spend the rest of their lives trying to fill a never-ending hole with narcissistic supply. They will never know the satisfaction that I feel from the genuine relationships that I have. They will only feel fleeting moments of satisfaction when they are receiving narcissistic supply. That in and of itself makes us the winners in this nightmare. And I hope that knowing this gives you some peace as well. Another helpful realization I came to is realizing that the only true revenge that I could achieve, the one thing that will hurt the narcissist in my life more than anything, is to heal from this and live a happy, successful life. That is the absolute last thing that narcissists want for a victim. Their hope is that they have so severely harmed us emotionally, mentally, financially, and spiritually that we will be a shell of the person we once were. They want to leave us destitute, broken, shattered, and destroyed. I decided that they had taken enough from me. I refused to give them one more day of satisfaction from my heartbreak and suffering. Sometimes part of the motivation we need will come from wanting revenge, and I say so be it. But if you want revenge, if you want some form of justice, heal yourself and live a life of extreme happiness and success. That truly is the only revenge that is effective when dealing with a narcissist. And finally, last but certainly not least, I found the meaning in my suffering. That was a critical component to my overcoming this horror and moving on with my life. I learned things that I likely would have never learned had I not gone through this. I learned to love myself. I learned to forgive myself. I learned that I have infinite value. I took the absolute worst, most horrific tragedy that I could have ever imagined, and I turned it into a positive. I realized I was never going to be the woman, the daughter, or the mother that this did not happen to. It was part of my identity now, and I decided how my story ends, not the narcissist. I would have never chosen to live through what I lived through, but it happened. And I survived what I did not think I could survive. I am stronger and braver than I ever knew or dreamed, and I absolutely refused to let them write the ending to my story. I took my power back by finding the meaning in my suffering, and now I help victims all over the world heal from this demonic form of abuse. I don't know what the meaning is for you. Maybe it will be several things, but if you look, as hard as it is, if you look for the meaning in your suffering, you will find it. And when you do, then you can know that what you lived through was not in vain. What you lived through has purpose and meaning. So keep the faith, everyone. I know so many of you are out there, are struggling, and I hope this gives you some hope and support. Okay, that's going to do it for today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on Facebook and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Thanks for watching, everyone.